everyone, my name is Marie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I'm back in the world of Brightchester, and I haven't built in Brightchester in quite some time, so I was very happy to be back here. And I'm also actually building something for students. This is student housing. I didn't really build it as student housing. I had it set to just a regular residential lot, but it is usable as student housing, so you could use it in that way, which is really, really fun in my opinion. But yeah, I'm building something for students, and as you can probably already tell, it is way more on the modern side. It's kind of like, well, not kind of like, it's a few tiny houses merged together, if you will. I was not working with a reference picture whatsoever, but I was really in the mood to build like a tiny house for a student. And then I was like, you know what, why not build a little community of tiny houses for students? So that's exactly what I ended up doing. These are like 4 separate little spaces for students to live in. And then they are just kind of merged together into one very strangely shaped little building, if you will. It's very modern looking, and I had so much fun designing this. I had so much fun with this because it's just something a little bit different and just something I haven't done in quite some time, especially building something for students. Like, I haven't done that in a very, very long time. So yeah, it was really nice to revisit that idea, really. And yeah, this is very modern. It looks very out of place in Brightchester, but that is part of why I like it so much. I was really in the mood to build something that's way more modern than the rest of Brightchester. I'm always very tempted to build like older looking, more rundown looking townhouses, be it for students or just regular residential homes. I just really love the world of Brightchester because it really reminds me of Amsterdam, which is where I live. I live very close by Amsterdam. I went to school in Amsterdam, so I know the city very well. And yeah, just Brightchester kind of reminds me of Amsterdam in a way. So I always just really enjoy building older looking townhouses in this world. But for a change, I thought it would be fun to build something modern here, which I haven't actually done before, I don't think. Well, you know, the university campus of Foxbury Institute is more on the modern side of things. So I think I rebuilt the Foxbury Commons when this pack first came out. But that was like before I even did voiceovers for my speed builds, I believe. So that is definitely a little bit ago. I rebuilt the commons for, what's it called? Foxbury. And those are very modern as well. So I actually have built some modern things in this world, but not in this area of the world. And this build is very eco lifestyle inspired. As you can see, I'm using a lot of eco lifestyle for this build, for the doors and windows, but also for the wallpapers and stuff. And I really try to make it more on the environmentally friendly. Is that how you say it? Just good for the environment is what I'm trying to say. I'm very tired. I have been so busy for the past week, and this is the first time this week that I have time to just sit down and record a voiceover. Well, actually, the beginning of the week I did that too, because didn't the kit drop last Monday, like almost a week ago at this point? So when that kit first dropped, I did a little apartment, and then I did a voiceover for that. And then for the rest of the week, I was extremely busy. So if I look a little bit tired, if I sound a little bit tired, if my brain is not functioning properly, then that is why, because oh my goodness, I had a lot of theater stuff going on this week, which was so much fun. It was so much fun to finally be able to play, to be on stage, and to show people what we've been working on and stuff. So yeah, it was so nice to be back in the theater and actually be able to perform for an audience because, you know, with everything that's been going on in the world for the past few years, we haven't really been able to do that. So yeah, that was just very nice. But whenever I have a performance, first of all, I'm home late because we're done pretty late, and then we have to clean up, and then I have to drive home, and then I'm home just kind of on the later side, and then I'm also still like full of adrenaline, so I won't be sleeping until like 1 or 2 a.m. and then I cannot sleep in. My body just does not allow me to sleep in. So I wake up around 6 or 7 a.m. somewhere in between. And so yeah, for a couple days, that was the way it was. So yeah, right now I'm just super, super tired, but that's fine. Like, I've been having so much fun this past week, so that's all good. But yeah, that is just a little ramble. I hope that's fine. But yeah, you can really see the build come together. I just love it. I love how it came together. I had so much fun with this. I did not have a reference picture or anything. I was just building what I felt like building, if that makes any sense. Like, I was just kind of coming up with everything as I went. So I definitely did have some struggles. I definitely stopped recording a couple times to just sit down and stare at my screen and try and figure out what to do, like how to lay this place out and stuff as well. It's pretty, well, it's not necessarily complicated, but it is a little bit weird. So of course, after this pre-built portion of this video, I will jump right into the game, and then I'll give you a little tour of the place, because I can totally imagine that it's a little bit confusing right now. But basically what it is we have 4 little tiny houses, 4 little living spaces, like separate living spaces, and then the 2 tiny homes or tiny apartments, whatever you want to call it, on the left side of the build, they share a little bathroom. They kind of have a Jack and Jill bathroom in between. And then the 2 little apartments or buildings or tiny houses on the right side of the build, those are a little bit more spacious, and they both have their own teeny tiny little bathroom. And like I said, you can actually use this lot as a student housing lot. So that means that there is no full functioning like kitchen. All the little separate tiny houses do have their own little kitchenette. So they all have, well, they don't all have a sink. I think there's one that doesn't have a sink, but they do obviously have a sink in the shared bathroom, so that's fine. But they do all have a kitchenette with a little mini fridge and a microwave as well. So you can definitely have some small, like just a little salad for lunch or something, or just have some cereal or like crackers or whatever. So your Sims do have that, but you do have to leave the house or leave the lot to actually get a proper meal, which is what I like about gameplay for university. I love living in the dorms, and I love, like, when the pack first came out, I was kind of annoyed by the fact that student housing cannot have a stove or a grill, because in my mind, that is just not realistic, and it's not realistic. But for the gameplay, I feel like it's really fun, because then you're kind of forced to leave the lot and to be social, to go out to a different lot and have something to eat and maybe hang out with some people or something. I don't know, I just enjoy it. In my game, I enjoy it. In real life, I would hate it. I would hate it as a student to not have a fully functional kitchen in my house. I don't know, that would just be so annoying. So thankfully for me, that is not realistic, and that's not the way it was for me when I was a student. But yeah, it is in The Sims. It is that way in The Sims, and I actually really like it. So yeah, you can really see this little build come together. It is a little bit more on the sophisticated side of things. Like, it's not student housing in the sense that it's extremely messy and there is just trash everywhere and they don't take care of the house, stuff like that. It's not like that. It is actually more on the sophisticated side. It's probably also for like more like wealthy students because, well, for one, in the game, if you want to actually use this as student housing, I think it's going to be pretty expensive, because there is obviously a lot of items on this lot, and that makes it a lot more valuable, and therefore it's gonna be pretty expensive. Like, the cost of living here is going to be pretty expensive for your Sims in the game. But I feel like, you know, that's fine. If you are playing with money cheats, or if your Sim has this kind of money, then you could easily afford it. You don't have to use it as student housing, obviously. You could just set it to residential and have your Sim buy the lot if you're playing with money cheats, and then they can have up to 3 roommates in total, and you can just kind of share the costs with your roommates that way. Like, that is also possible, of course. But yeah, I just wanted to make clear that you could actually use it as student housing. So that is a lot of fun in my opinion. But here you can see I'm working on the first little living space, if you will. As you can see, it's very, very small. This is one of the rooms that shares like that Jack and Jill bathroom. As you can probably tell, like the little bathroom in the middle. And yeah, I have a full-on double bed. I think they pretty much all have a double bed except for The other little apartment that I'm furnishing in a second, the one that this one shares the Jack and Jill with, that one has a single bed because the shape, it was just too difficult. I didn't have enough space to place everything. That one also does not have a sink. So I was definitely struggling with that one to place down everything I needed or I wanted to place down. But the student living there can definitely like work it out. Like it's fine. They have everything they need. It's really fine. So yeah, I feel like it's okay. But you can see that I use a lot of Dream Home Decorator. I did use a lot of Dream Home Decorator throughout this whole build because it just looks so IKEA-ish to me. And especially now, me and my boyfriend are actually working on a very fun project that requires us to go to IKEA to just check things out every now and then. So I have been going to IKEA a couple times over the past few weeks to just look at things. And so I think because of that, I felt so inspired to build something for students, like with IKEA looking furniture. I think that's partly the reason why I wanted to build this. But yeah, one thing that is very exciting is me and my boyfriend, we're working on furnishing our little office. We are basically turning our walk-in closet into an office. I am actually recording the process. So whenever that's done, I will have a little vlog going up, which is extremely weird. I'm not a vlogger at all. But I just thought it would be fun to share that little process with you guys, that little project. So that is a little something that is going to be coming to my channel in a little while, like not just yet. The process is going a little bit slower because, well, it's not literally a walk-in closet. It is actually a little room, like with a window and a door even leading to a teeny tiny little balcony. But me and my boyfriend, like back in the day, we decided to just place our large wardrobe in there and then call it a day. And we have like an additional clothing rack and stuff like that in there and just our shoes and everything. So basically it's our walk-in closet. But right now, like our apartment, our house is very, very small. So we have our desk. We have a pretty like large desk because we both have a desktop. And then obviously I have my setup with like 2 screens and my microphone and my webcam and stuff like that. So we have a pretty large desk, which means that we do not have a dining table because our desk is in the living room. I'm like literally in my living room right now. Like this is what it is. We don't have space to place a desk anywhere else. So we put it in our living room, but we don't have a dining table and we are over that. We want a dining table so bad because right now when we're having dinner or anything, or breakfast, like whatever kind of meal, we're sitting on the couch eating, which is fine, it's comfortable, but you know, we want a dining table. It would be so nice to have a dining table. So you know what, we decided to actually make a little office for ourselves. And it's also because I really want an office. For one, because I want to do Twitch streams and I feel like sitting in my living room, it's just a little bit awkward. Like my boyfriend is here and he doesn't mind it. He actually helps me out with my videos and my channel. He knows a lot, like he's a professional editor and cameraman, so he is fine. But I just feel a little bit awkward and I want to have my own little office and like close the door and stream and record videos and like do voiceovers when he's home. Because for instance, right now, I send him away because I don't want to do a voiceover when he's here. Like that is just, to me, that is just a little bit awkward. It's not that I'm ashamed or anything, but it's just a little bit awkward in my opinion. So I just want to be able to close the door, work on videos, and then take a break and get out of the office for a second, you know, like that sort of thing is what I really want to do. Because for my regular job that I have, I work from home a lot. Like I can go to the office if I want to, which I do that a lot, but I also work from home sometimes. And it would be so nice to actually have an office. So we are working on that and it's a lot of fun. But that does, because the room is so small, like the room that we're turning into an office is so small, and we also still need like our wardrobe and stuff in there. We need to do a lot of measuring. We need to look at like wardrobes and little dressers and like little drawer units, stuff like that, to kind of like measure out everything. And we have an IKEA very close by, so we can just jump in the car, drive to IKEA and just check out some things, like measure some things, take some pictures, and then go back home and try and envision what we just looked at, like that sort of thing. We just really enjoy that. So that is what we've been doing. This voiceover is very rambly. I hope that that's okay. But I'm just very excited about this little project and I thought it would be fun to share it with you guys. But yeah, in the meantime, you can really see this little house come together. Every room has its own little color scheme, if you will. And I think this one that we're working on right now is actually my favorite. I love the tan color on the wall. I use the same wallpaper in a different swatch for every single room. And this one is my favorite. I love this tan color. I'm actually thinking of using one of these like tan colors in my own office. So that is also a fun process because I will finally be able to make like a little cute little background for my videos as well. I'm gonna have like a little drawer unit or like a little shelving unit behind me and obviously a wall. And I'm thinking like I could do some LED lights maybe or some fairy lights. I don't know, but I want to paint the wall in a cute color. So I don't know which color I want to do just yet. So I ordered a few little samples of some colors that I can actually try out on the wall, like on a little piece of the wall. I can just try out a couple different colors. I think I ordered like 5 different or 4 different like testers of colors, all in the same like shade family, but different colors, if that makes sense. They're all very soft, neutral toned colors, but I have like a green, I have a blue, I have a more tan pinky color, and I also have like a caramelly kind of color, if you will. So I'm just not quite sure what I want to go for. So I ordered some testers and I think they're coming in tomorrow, so that it's going to be very exciting as well. But yeah, I don't know what I was talking about before this, but this I think is my favorite room out of the 4 little student rooms that I furnished for this build, because basically I just love the color of the wall and I love it combined with the green color from the Dream Home Decorator stuff. You can see that I went all out with it. I used it for the countertops, for the desk, for the chair, for a lot of the things in here. So yeah, and this room is definitely also a little bit smaller than the previous 2 that you could see come together. This is one of the rooms that has its own bathroom, only a 4-tile, very small, nothing special bathroom, but still very, very nice to have your own kitchenette and your own bathroom that you don't have to share with anyone, which is very, very luxurious in my opinion. So that is really nice. And then this building also has a communal like backyard, if you will. So they do have a communal outdoor space, and also a tiny little rooftop area, like a little rooftop balcony. Well, it's not a balcony, it's just a rooftop terrace, if you will, where I placed a couple lounge chairs, I believe, and I think a keg stand. And then outside in the backyard, we also have a ping pong table, I think I placed, and just a nice place to hang out, I believe, just a couch and stuff like that. And also an easel. So if you have like a student doing like an art major or something in here, then it's nice to have an easel, or just as a skill building item, it's just nice to have that. So yeah, for these little rooms, you can really tell that I didn't really necessarily think of what sort of majors they would be studying, like what type of things they were into. They're just very basic, very generic looking student rooms, but they do have some personality in the sense that they have their own color scheme and whatnot. So this one is very black and white and gray, as you can tell. I also used a lot of white in here, so this one doesn't have as much color. It's a little bit more on the quote unquote masculine side of things. Not that it needs to be for a boy, but just in the sense of like the decorating style. It's more on the masculine side. And this one has only a 2-tile. This one has only a 2-tile bathroom. So they only have a shower and a toilet in there, and then they have a sink in their kitchenette. So they're fine. But yeah, this one is a little bit more on the darker side, which was a nice change of pace, because for the other 3, they're very light and pastel-y and very quote unquote feminine, in the sense of like, not that it's for women, but in the sense of the decorating style, if you know what I mean. I feel like I have to just place that little disclaimer there. But yeah, I also really like this one shape-wise, I think, because the bed is like tucked away in a little corner of the room, and they also have their own TV. This is the only room that has a TV. The rest of them do have their own laptops though, so that is also really nice. But that one also has their own TV. Maybe they're like into gaming or what have you. I don't really know. And then for the communal outdoor space, as you can see, I placed a little ping pong table, and then we have a little rooftop area where I placed a keg stand. So, and then they also have a nice hangout space here. I really wanted to just place a nice couch, but you could always just delete that and place some extra easels or some different skill building items, maybe like a foosball table if you wanted to do that, or maybe even a bar. Like you could place a bar here as well, which I think would be pretty fun. But I could just see these students like hang out here outside sitting on the couch, just hanging out, having like a beer and a fun conversation. I just thought that was cute. And then over here on the rooftop, I just placed a couple of lounge chairs, which would be nice for the summertime, and then a keg stand, and then also a little picnic table at the front of the build. And then that is actually already going to be it. So let's jump right into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the build in the game. Over here on this side, we have a nice little area to park your bikes. And I also placed the outdoor trash cans over here. And then here we have the staircase leading up to the rooftop area. And then I also placed this picnic bench over here. But as you can see, this build doesn't necessarily have a front door since all the separate little tiny homes have their own front doors. So we do have this archway, and then we have this quote unquote hallway with two front doors off of it. So this is the first student house. It's very small. They do have a nice double bed in here, and then this nice built-in wardrobe unit. And then over here, their little kitchenette, and then they have this bar area that also functions as their desk. So that's a nice item. And then they have their shared bathroom over here. And then on the other side of the hallway, we have the front door leading into this tiny house over here. So this one I think is my favorite. It's quite spacious actually. It definitely has the largest bathroom too. So they have their bed over here in this little nook, and then they have their kitchenette over here. They have a nice dresser and some additional shelves. Oh, this one actually also has a TV. I thought only this one would have a TV, but I actually gave this one a TV as well. And they have a gaming console, so that is really nice. And then they have their desk under the window right here and a teeny tiny little bathroom over here. And then when you walk through this archway over here, you enter into the shared outdoor space. And then we have two more tiny homes off of this area. So over here, we have the door leading into this smaller little room. This one has a single bed and then this nice built-in unit. They have a bookcase over here, and then they also have a little bar counter that functions as their desk, which is nice. So it's nice and multifunctional. And then they have their little kitchenette over here as well. They just do not have a sink in here because I couldn't make it work for the life of me, but they do have this shared Jack and Jill bathroom with a sink, obviously. So they should be fine. And then over here on the other side of the shared outdoor space, we have another front door leading into this student tiny home. So this one is more on the darker side, more black and white and gray. They have their kitchenette in this corner over here, which I really like. Maybe this one is my favorite. I don't know. I can't really pick. I like this one too, though. They have their desk over here and a bookcase as well, their wardrobe over here and their bed over here with some additional storage space as well. And then a very luxurious TV. And then they have this teeny tiny 2-tile bathroom with just a shower and a toilet and some shelves. So yeah, and then this is the shared outdoor space. You could probably already see it, but this one has like a ping pong table and a little couch and an easel as well. And then I think I already showed you this, but here we have the rooftop space as well. So I feel like it's a really fun student housing community. So these student tiny homes are up on the gallery. This lot comes in at just over 77,000 simoleons. So I feel like it's not even that expensive for what it is. I built it on a 20 by 15 in Brightchester, but I think it would also look really cool in like Evergreen Harbor or something. But yeah, it basically goes on any 20 by 15 lot. But that is actually it for this video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this build. You can obviously go ahead and download it off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmarysims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!